Hey y'all, we're back, and I came up with a name for the weekly TV show discussions. It's going to be called This Week on TV with SuesyCoils, me. So yeah, so this week on TV, we're going to talk about All American, Grownish, and Sistas.
Ah, you're big time now.
Sistas is a new show that we will be talking about. I didn't talk about it last week because it wasn't back out yet, but it's back. So stay tuned for my commentary, y'all. So first, I'm going to go ahead and talk about All American. And the first thing I want to address in regards to All American is I really cannot get over how all of these teenagers are so whiny. And then the boys at that, like, they are so whiny. Like, 1 minute y'all okay, the next minute y'all sad. Like, what? They be so butthurt over everything. It don't even matter what it is. They want Spencer to have their back. Spencer suggests one boy over the other, they mad. Or the one boy he didn't suggest actually got the position, and the boy still mad. Like, what is y'all really mad about? Like, come on, get it together, please. Because I'm tired of seeing y'all whine every episode over the same stuff. What I was really happy to see was Jordan get the QB spot on his own, because if you watch the show, you can tell that he doesn't have a lot of confidence, and him winning that spot gave him that confidence that he needed, because I guess he always thought that maybe he had that title because his dad was the coach, but now that they have a new coach, she made him prove himself, and he did. So I'm happy to see that he was able to prove himself, get some confidence, because he's really butthurt that Spencer left. But hey, do what you gotta do. You can make it to the finals as well. Like, Jordan, you got it. He's whiny too. He blew me on the last episode with all that whining. I'm mad at you leaving me. But we had this discussion already. What are you mad about? We already talked about it. What are you mad about? And then the whole Patience situation. So they had Patience sign a non-disclosure agreement, and when she said she signed an NDA, I thought something way worse had occurred. And thank God what I thought occurred didn't. I thought like somebody had sexually assaulted the poor girl or something like that. But on the show, that did not happen. What happened was they actually gave one of her songs to another artist. And I guess she didn't appreciate that, because why y'all want me to sing this type of music and I'll write another type of music, but y'all don't want me to sing my music. Y'all want to give me this rinky-dink stuff, but then you're going to take my music and give it to somebody else. I understand her frustrations, and I wrote that song. Are you going to give me writing credits, or, you know, what's going on? And then also, Coop got her first check, and her check was less than what she thought it would be. So she was thinking like, oh yeah, so Layla, you getting over and your daddy getting over, because y'all just got over on Patience, and now y'all trying to get over on me. But Layla came through and nipped it in the bud. She told Patience, come on, sign with me. Forget my daddy label. I got y'all. Since they not handling it correctly. So I'm like, okay, Layla, get on your boss, girl. Period. And I do want to address the Tyrone sister situation. I don't know. I still don't trust her, but now for some reason, since I don't trust her, and she's like got Preach wrapped around her fingers because they had some type of relationship back in the day, now I'm not trusting Preach either. He's sitting up here telling Coop like, leave it alone, don't worry about her, she not thinking about you and all this stuff. And I'm like, something not seeming right about this equation. No wonder why she got Preach off, because they had a relationship in the past. But that don't mean that she not, finna wreak havoc on anybody else because her brother was killed. But she keeps saying like, no, I'm not worried about that. He caused so much damage to the community, and I just want to fix it. Okay, sis, fix it. And do just that. Don't come for Coop. Don't come for nobody else. Just leave it at that. Because Tyrone was a menace. Yeah, he was. And y'all, what blew me was they left us on another cliffhanger with this, what happened in Vegas and now what happened in Mexico with Liv and Spencer. And what Liv is saying to Layla not making sense to me. Because why do you have all of this tense, weird energy with Spencer if nothing happened between y'all? If all of it's really got to do with you finding Asher. Is his name Asher? I think his name Asher. But you popping up on Asher in Mexico and he was kicking it with some girl. What's all the weird energy with Spencer about? That's what we want to know. Because that's Layla was like, so what's going on with y'all? What's up? Why you acting weird? And she like, well, I wasn't on the A doing anything for like AA. I actually went to Mexico and I seen Asher with another girl. Okay. But why are you weird with Spencer is what we don't get. And why you ain't told Asher that you seen him with that girl. Instead he's sitting up here talking about, oh, do you know her? And he's like, kinda. And she like, how do you kinda know somebody? Girl, just tell him that you seen him with her in Mexico. Just say that. Like, I don't get what's the big secret. And then are you mad about it or are you not mad about it? Because you knew this since he came back from Mexico. And you were still hooking up with him and all this other stuff. So, like, I'm really not understanding what she's mad about at all. Like, she needs to give me some type of clarity. So, I guess, hopefully, maybe we'll find out next week what's going on with Liv and Spencer for real. Because this Asher situation cannot be it. They cannot have this amount of weird energy over some other dude. They cannot. Ooh, y'all, maybe this is what had happened. So maybe she went to Spencer to talk to him about seeing Asher with somebody else. And since she seen him with somebody else, she got with Spencer. It's a possibility. I guess maybe we might find out next week. But they keep leaving us on all these cliffhangers. Stop leaving me on these cliffhangers. But, okay. So, the next show we're going to talk about is Grownish. So on this episode of Grownish, Zoe was not in the episode, but she was like the voiceover. I'm gonna be real mad if they take my girl off the show. This is her show. We want to see her be grown-ish, not everybody else. This whole episode was pretty much about Anna and Aaron, and I don't really care too much. Where's Zoe? What's going on? Is she still styling? Yes, she is. But who? What's going on? Let me know. I need more information. But since the episode was about Anna and Aaron, I guess we'll dive deep. A little deep, not too deep. We're going to dive a little deep into the topics that were discussed. He really loud on that game. I asked him, can he be a little quiet because I'm recording video. But so one of the first topics was like religion that came up, and I really like how they incorporated this into the show. So Anna is dating this dude named Javi, and Javi just disclosed to her like, I'm abstinent, I made a vow to God, I'm not trying to have sex and all of this stuff. And she's battling with that, like, dang, you don't want to do that? Why not? And should I stop talking to you, or what should I do in a situation? Because I really like you and I don't want to knock you off your journey, because what type of person would I be? And then he takes her to his church service and she fell in love with the church service. So now she's going to go ahead and take the vow as well. And I like how they had a young pastor who had his little chests out and not worried about the traditional ways of church, and he's speaking to them in the way that people talk normally. Like, one of the things he said was slide in your neighbor DM and tell him something. Because you know how you be at church and they be like, tell your neighbor blah blah blah. He's like, slide in your neighbor's DM and tell him blah blah blah. Same thing. Keeping up with the popular culture to get the younger kids, the younger generation, the younger demographic involved in church and have them build a relationship with God. A lot of people stem away from the church because they're really judgmental. Like, they don't let kids be themselves, that you gotta come dressed up, you gotta do this, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. But if you let these kids be themselves, they will find the Lord still. The Lord ain't gonna judge you based off the clothes you wearing. He don't judge you for your sins. So why would he judge you based on what you wearing, people? Let it make sense. Let it make sense. But I really like how they incorporated that into the show. So that was pretty cool. Another thing I want to say is, well, the whole Anna not having sex thing kind of goes along with the image that she tries to portray for herself. Like, we all know that she, you know, be living her life regular and all this stuff, but she has this like, I'm conservative, well put together, you know, she has that type of aura, that vibe. That's her character. So this kind of really aligns with her character. So I'm happy for her. And I'm happy she found a man that don't just want her for her body like a lot of men be wanting women for these days. But that's a whole nother topic of conversation that we're not going to get into. We're just going to go ahead and transition over to my homeboy, Aaron. What I like about Aaron's character is how he is so for his people, so for the movement, whatever the movement may be in regards to Black people, he is for it. So what's going on in this week's episode and probably throughout the show, they just found out that Cal U invests in private prisons with their tuition dollars. And Aaron is like, what? So how it all came out was Aaron went to a BSU meeting, and BSU was pretty much saying, like, they filed a petition and now their funding got cut because they, you know, filed the petition against the investing in these private prisons. So now they're cutting their funding. And I love that they're touching upon this because that happens so much at so many schools and so many communities, or not even with schools, with things, period. Like, once you try to stop or engage or let people know, like, we know what you're doing and it's wrong, they try to cut your funding. That's the first thing they do. They want to cut your funding so that now you're like, dang, they cut our money. We're not going to say nothing else because we still want their money. No. And that's what Aaron showed us on this episode. He was like, okay, y'all can want to play by the rules and be mad if they cut the funding, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this up a notch. I'm going to spread the word that they're doing this. And then at the end of the episode, Aaron got arrested by campus security. And guess what? Aaron had just said that, do you know that they also use that money that they, you know, use for private prisons and all that stuff. They use that to hire and fund the security on campus. So if y'all prejudice against a certain type of people and y'all paying for cheap labor of Black and brown people in jail, who's to say these same ideologies don't come up with y'all hiring process with how y'all profile people on campus with security? And lo and behold, he gets arrested because they telling him like he can't put up his posters. And he like, what do you mean I can't put up my posters? There's a whole bunch of other posters up. And they're like, they're not littering the campus, and we've been told that you're defaming such and such. And he just like, well, y'all gonna have to arrest me. And they actually did. And he like, wow, this is BS. And what I love so much about this scene is homegirl immediately pulled out her camera. Pulling out your camera when you come in contact with the police is so important in this day and age, because a lot of stuff that go on with the police is now coming to light because people are recording. This is not, the stuff that goes on in our world, in our society, is not new. It's not more cases now. It's just now that we have access to seeing it. They can't hide it. How you gonna say it didn't happen when some 3, 4, 5 people all have it recorded? Even though most of the cases don't get solved in the way that they should be solved, it's good that people are now comfortable and eager to record what's going on. Because if people aren't capturing what's happening, the world won't know, and then we won't be able to fix our problems. So I like that they incorporated that, because that is really the world right now. The police doing something to a Black man, a white man, a woman, or anything. You said what? Don't need to record. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Stop playing. But yeah, so I really like that about Grownish. I really like that they touch upon active topics that are going on in the world, just like on Blackish. And I love that they're doing it in the college setting, which is dope. And what I also love about Grownish is like their portrayal of Black people is so real. Like with the culture, they did the wave cap challenge. They had a whole like Black Lives Matter movement. They're doing this with the like funding the police system and stuff like that. Like they really go hard, and I love that. Another thing that I loved this episode was the twins' dad just being on the show, being proud of his daughters. It just showed like a good daughter-father bond, and we don't really see much of that on TV or in the world period. So it was good to see that they daddy really loved them. He's really proud, and they showing up for their city as they should. So I was pleased with this episode of Grownish, outside of the fact that my girl Zoe was not on it. Where is she? Bring her back. She better be on the next episode. I'm going to start to feel some type of way. Point blank and period. Okay? But now, let's talk about Sistas. Okay, Sistas is written, directed, all of this by no one else other than the Tyler Perry himself. And this show is crazy, y'all. At first it's hard to, I don't want to say it's hard to get into, but at first, when you first start watching the show, it's kind of hard to get over their acting. But once you get past how they act and you see, oh, this is just how it is, you actually get into the storyline. I'm not sure what season we're in with Sistas, but I think it may actually be the second season. But it's just getting good. So let's talk about it. First, I'm going to go ahead and address Andy. Okay, so the main characters of Sistas is Andy, Danny, Karen, and Sabrina. And then you have the supporting characters: Maurice, Fatima, Zach, Gary, and Aaron. If you're not well versed with these characters, this isn't like an analysis of the entire show. I'm just going to go in on this episode. If you have not seen the show, please go watch the show. It comes on BET. So go watch the show. But I'm just going to dive in on this specific episode. But I do want to give y'all some background. Andy gets on my nerves. Her and Karen both get on my nerves. Sabrina gets on my nerves. And Danny gets on my nerves. They all get on my nerves in their own special way. But for whatever reason, Andy takes the cake for me on most episodes. Her problem is she was dating a married man who claimed he was leaving his wife. The wife comes back into the picture, and then it seems as if he and his wife was really trying to scam her, and with some other stuff with people at the actual practice, they were like trying to take her down. And it's like, whoa, what's going on? And she is still trying to be with this man, Gary. She's still trying to claim she's in love. She's still trying to claim like, but when you're in love with someone and this, that, and the third. The thing that took the cake for me with Gary is he's manipulative, jealous, aggressive, angry. He be snapping. He like got this type of bipolarness to him. 1 second he loving, the next second he's snapping. No, that's not good. I can't deal with that. But the very last thing for me with him was he came to her home when she told him to leave, got into a fight with the guy that she had at her home, and then the other dude left. He came, I don't remember if he left or came back, but he was still there. And he's like, I don't have nowhere to go. I can't go home. I don't have a home. I left my wife for you and all of this stuff. I'm trying to make her feel bad. And she's like, well, you can sleep on the couch and all this stuff. So he goes to embrace her. He literally hugs her so tight that she passes out. That's abuse, ma'am. That's not okay. This man could have killed you. You literally passed out, had no oxygen because he was squeezing you that tight. That was not a squeeze of endearment, honey. He was trying to hurt you. And then after that, He storms out of the apartment and leaves her there, talking about he don't know what happened to her, and he act like he finna crash and all of this stuff. What? What type of craziness is this? No. Andy, sis, this is not the guy for you. And she like, how do you know? And what if you just... No, we all know he's not the one. And what blew me was, in the opening scene, Danny was trying to, you know, give advice to Andy, like, you know, I know you love him, but we can't keep doing this. You know, it's abuse and all this stuff. She was pretty much trying to let her know, like, I'm here to support you, but I also want to let you know that I'm not going to enable you and just tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to let you know that you need to stop dealing with this man. But the other friends, Karen and Sabrina, want to start attacking Danny. Like, Danny, how you going to say anything? Like, you ain't had these type of situations with men before, more than all of us. And who are you to judge? And she like, I'm not trying to judge. I'm literally trying to help her learn from my mistakes. She's my friend. Why would I want her to go through what I went through? Because I went through it. And for y'all to throw this in my face right now, are y'all even my friends? And I'm just like... She didn't say, are y'all even my friends? But that's what I'm thinking. Are they even her friend? They always talking down on her. They always talking about she do too much and all of this stuff. Got some smart, some snippy to say about her as if she's not one of their main friends. And I really don't like that, because she is literally the realest one out of the 4 main sisters. She keeps it real with them all the time, no matter how bad her delivery is. Yeah, your delivery can be off sometimes, but she really do just be trying to let y'all know what's going on. And they always want to attack her, always trying to say she always high, she never got no money, all of this stuff. And I just really don't like that they do that to her. It actually is starting to like blow me at this point. But as for Andy, her whininess and the way that she talks to the people around her, it just sucks. It just makes me not be able to feel any sympathy for her. Like, Fatima is her assistant, and well, I guess you can call her an assistant. Her receptionist or something or whatever. I don't know what her exact role is for her, but she works for her at the firm. She talked to her so reckless, and then she turned around and be like, well, what do you think? Girl, I don't have nothing to tell you. You were just rude as fuck to me. Telling me to come on, hurry up, close the door. I didn't come here for this today. I'm trying to work. You brought your drama to this job every single time. What do you mean? And then, did you not ask me to come help you? What do you mean? So, like, I just don't like how she be talking to the people around her. She needs to stop doing that. She do the same thing with the cleaner lady. Stop being rude to these people. But that cleaner lady, she do got a little slip lip. Like, lady, come on now. I ain't asked you all that. Yeah. So, with her, I can see it. Like, I ain't asked you to be in my business now. But since you win it, what? What can you help me with? So, I guess that's what she be feeling like. Since y'all in my business, what advice do you have for me? But her whole personality, delivery, her attitude, it really does suck most of the time. So I really don't have any sympathy for the character. I just can't. And y'all, Miss Karen, this episode, baby, Miss Karen takes the cake. Okay, so Karen owns a hair salon. She has a receptionist named Pam. Pam comes to Karen and is like, oh my God, I got the credit card bill. It's up like 6 bands, and they saying the transactions were made by Zachary. Y'all, since when you swipe a credit card, do it tell you who swiped the credit card? And since when can you call the bank and they can tell you who authorized the payment? The only thing they can tell you is what card number was swiped. And my only other explanation for this is if Zach has a business card with his name on it, and they can say like his card was swiped for this. But even if his card was swiped, that does not mean he swiped it. And that's another thing for Karen. This hasn't been addressed or anything, but is Zach an authorized user on your business credit card? Why? He ain't got nothing to do with that salon. He don't need to be no authorized user. And if he's an authorized user, that's a problem. You should have never did that. But for Pam to say it was Zach, I feel like she trying to cover her own tracks, because early on in the season, homegirl was booking hotels and getting flowers and stuff sent for Karen. And how are you paying for all of this? With my credit card? Yeah. And then Karen was just so quick to soak it up. Zach, he did that. Why would he do that? He just because I don't want to be with him. Woo, 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 woo. She shows up to this man's job, causing a whole scene, slap him, tell him she threw out his granddaddy ashes, his granddaddy stuff, told him I hate you, I hate the day I met you, all this stuff. And it's just like, you don't even know if he did this, and you coming at him this hard. Not once did she ask him, hey, Zach, did you do this? She'd asked him one time. She took Pam's word for it, and she just attacked this man. Why would you go attack this man? One, you know how he is. He's not a thief. Not one time has it shown that he's a thief or that he would steal her money. So I'm just like, why? Why are you so quick to think that he would do this to you? He literally just got stabbed for you. Why would he steal your money? Why would he swipe your card? And then this whole time, he ain't even been thinking about her. He been so wrapped up in Fatima. And yeah, Andy's assistant, he's dating, well, not dating, but he's talking to her. And she helping get his life on the right track. So he been so wrapped up in doing positive things and, you know, hanging out with her to get his sweat equity for the properties that they've been flipping to, like, you know, help him make some money. He ain't been worried about you, Karen. He didn't swipe your card. He ain't bought nothing. He either at work, or he working on that house, or he's with Fatima. He is not swiping your card. So, girl, get over yourself. He's not thinking about you. And Karen has now been dating this preacher named Aaron. And guess what, y'all? Aaron knows Gary. Gary, the one who's aggressive, manipulative, and all this stuff to Andy. So now I'm thinking maybe Aaron is in cahoots with Gary, because as soon as Aaron came into Karen's life, his wife killed herself. His wife's brother came and tried to kill Karen. That's why Zach got stabbed. Ever since you met this man, Aaron, your life been in shambles. But you want to be so mad at Zach. You need to evaluate the whole situation at hand here. So now what I'm thinking is, on the outside looking in, that possibly Aaron been swiping her card, and he down with some scammy stuff, just like Gary was with Andy. Or if it ain't Aaron, it's Pam. Because all of a sudden, Pam got a new man that pop up at the shop. Since when we want to see who Pam dating? They showed us that man for a reason, because Pam is scamming with that man, and he's been forging Zach's signature on stuff, saying that he done bought and spent this woman's money. Pam ain't right, Aaron ain't right, Gary ain't right. All of it is just a mess, and I can't wait for the next episode to see how this unfolds, because it's just ridiculous, y'all. I was literally like, so she not even gonna ask him, did he do it? She just gonna assume? Poor Zach. He just trying to get his life together, and she threatened to send him to jail, and if he go back to jail, he gonna violate his probation. She trying to ruin this man's life for something he ain't even did. He ain't even did nothing. So I really, really do hope that he tells Fatima what's going on so that she can help him, because she is literally his alibi. She pretty much been like taking care of the man, or at least trying to. She can vouch for everything that he's done. She's been keeping tabs on him, like seriously. So she know for a fact he ain't been swiping her card. And whenever the card was swiped, she can vouch for where he was. He's either been at that house, at work, or with her. How he swiping a card if he not there in person? So I really hope he tell her so that she can vouch for him. And then I really need to see what's about to go down with Danny and Preston. Preston is a white boy that Danny has been dating. What's about to go down with Danny and Preston's brothers? They came up to her job talking about, you black B, leave my brother alone. So I just want to see what's about to go down with that. So stay tuned for next week. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to this channel. And thank you for watching.